Hey everyone, welcome back to my weekly video thing that I've been doing. So this week it's going to be about Caleb and basically in depth about what's going on with him, what it's like to be a parent of a child with additional needs, and basically the ins and outs and how it makes me feel, how it would make other parents feel, and basically that whole collective. Okay, so Caleb actually hasn't been diagnosed with anything yet, but we verbally had a conversation with the nurses and even the paediatrician said that he's showing all the symptoms of autism, which is ASD, autism spectrum disorder. First thing we noticed in Caleb that was different was his lack of speech. He still now doesn't say words and conversates with us. It's more babbling. Well, it is all babbling and kind of humming and basically creating his own little language. We've kind of tried every tactic, repeating him. We've tried all different things, and I think it will literally just be a way through to the speech and therapy, and basically just see where we go from there. We also noticed that when Caleb was around 1, he still weren't clapping, waving or looking at us when we called his name. And even now, Caleb still won't look at us when we called his name. And that is the social and communication aspect of it, really. He started clapping and waving at 18 months old, which is like pretty far gone, pretty late in developmental terms. But yeah, he's a lot better now than he was, definitely. So Caleb also has sensory issues. We don't know whether it's a heightened sensory intake or a lowered one. I think heightened because he gets very scared of different sounds. So for example, if we use the blender, or if we go into like a room that's got like loud noises in, or like noises he's not used to, he gets really scared and anxious and like starts crying and having meltdowns over it. When I cut his hair, I have to use the scissors because he will not let me use the clippers because of the sound of the clippers, and he just don't like it, and it's obviously something to do with the sensory processing way he is, really. Caleb also, and you'll probably have seen this in different videos and things that I've posted, likes running around in circles, and it usually is anti-clockwise, and he does that on a daily, so at least twice or 3 times a day he'll do these little running around in circle patterns for a good 10 minutes, and then he'll stop and go back to normal. We've now learned that that is his way of calming. So when he's like really excited or something gets him really happy, he'll run around in circles to calm him down and bring him back down to earth in a way, like get him calmed down to his normal way, really. So you've probably all seen me moan, rant on here a bit about his eating. So Caleb only eats bland, crunchy, boring food, I call it. You don't like sauces and you don't like something that's very new. So the thing is it's a sensory issue with the whole texture, touch and what he visually sees. So if it looks different to what he's used to, he gets very panicky and he will not try it at all. We've tried every situation, we've tried every bit of food and we literally can't get it in him. So in the end he just eats the same thing every day 9 times out of 10. And then that brings me on to the fact that he don't use a knife and fork. He's only just started using a spoon in the last few months, but he will not use a knife and fork, and that is mainly because he don't eat them type of foods to use knife and fork. But we have tried him with it and he just doesn't get the aspect of it, and I'm sure that will come in time. This is why Caleb goes to CDC, so you'll see me mention CDC on my stories or on my posts quite a few times. I do call it nursery, but it isn't actually a nursery. It's the Child Development Centre's little nursery section, and he only goes an hour and a half one day and 2 hours another day per week, so it's not long much at all. But they basically do one-on-one with him and help him to learn new skills and help him to progress in the way that he should be and what level he should be at. they have been amazing. You know, he's only been there since September last year, so he's only been there something like 5 months. But honestly, the change and the improvement we've seen in him is remarkable, and they were helping him so much. And the CDCs can then connect it to the paediatrician, which through the paediatrician we'll go for assessments, and that's when that will all come about. Hopefully he'll get diagnosed before 3, but it might not be until 3 or 4. But we'll just, it depends on the waiting list as well, because yeah, it's a nightmare. He also sees a portage worker. Now, a portage worker is a lady or a gentleman that will come to your house and basically spend an hour learning through play, like teaching your child how to play with toys in the correct way. And that is kind of the cognitive skills to see how he is with his learning, and to make sure he can kind of do certain things and he isn't got a learning disability as well. He's doing really, really well with the portage. They're incredibly happy. Well, she's really happy with what he's doing. She said he's a brilliant student, and he's just doing really, really well. Hopefully he'll get better at playing with certain toys, but that will all come in time. So when we're out and about in public, that's when it kind of gets to me a lot, and it's mainly when both the boys are in the pushchair, and we'll be walking down the street, and you'll have like a different person coming up, and they'll go, "Oh, aren't they gorgeous?" And then they'll try and speak to Caleb, and Caleb will just blank them like they're not there, which is quite sad. And the person that's talking to him gets a bit like, "Oh, you're a shy boy," or "You're a serious boy." And it's not that he's serious, it's not that he's shy, he just doesn't have the same communication, social communication skills that we have. So like when Caleb plays with Roman, that's another example. Roman is very full on and wants to play with him. That's because Roman, touch wood, hasn't got any doesn't look like he has any problems at the moment. He's basically following all his milestones, very, very social communication based, and gives a really good eye contact. So we have no worries with Roman as of yet, so that's a good thing. But when Roman tries to play with Caleb, Caleb don't really tend to play with him much. He is getting better at that. That is improving definitely, but isn't where it should be, and it's quite sad really. It does really get to me. And with me personally, I am literally here 24/7. So Luke will go work Monday to Friday throughout the day, and he'll get the evenings with the boys, then obviously on the weekends. But because I'm here all the time, I'll see Caleb through his ups, his downs, and some days are better than others. And I'm very honest with that, where I'll openly admit that some days I really, really struggle, and find it very hard to not cope, but it's just sometimes I have bad days, and they're the days where I wish that we lived near family, and I wish that I had friends. I feel cringy talking about this, but I'm not really good at making friends myself. Like I'm very much worry what people think of me, so I'll be quite negative about myself, and I don't really pursue real friendships with people because I just worry that people are going to judge me, and that's just one of my own personal things. But the problem is with that is that I don't have friends, so I don't have friends that love Caleb like his family do, and I don't tend to go groups much. I go to a couple. I am pushing myself to go to baby groups. I have a lovely group of ladies in a Facebook group that has been running for 3 years, and they're lovely and they're really good with advice. But I just keep like not going to these mother and baby groups because I'm just such a worrier. I know I need to change that, and I think I need to sort myself out so that I'm able to take me, Caleb and Roman to these groups, and then in the end that will help Caleb being around other kids his own age, and hopefully help his socialising skills. See, it's a really weird one with and I also look at other children. So I look at other children that are around Caleb's age that are so advanced, like they are speaking, they are playing, they are giving really good eye contact, and they are basically doing everything they should be doing. And I'm in tears sometimes because, well, sometimes I do get in tears quite a bit when I look at how other kids are, and that I do long for that. And I know Caleb is individual and his personality is amazing. He is so loving and just a lovely little boy, but there are moments where I wish he could speak to me and that I could speak to him and we'd have this conversation, because I haven't God, it make me cry, but I have never ever been called mum yet. Now Caleb is 2 in a few months, and it's something I really long for, that I know is going to take a bit of time. I think Roman probably will call me mum before Caleb does, but it's something little that I do wish I wish he could do. But I'm definitely going to be sharing this whole journey with Caleb on here. I think it will help me, it will help Caleb, it will help others understand, like the family that we've got on here, it will help them understand as well, because every child that has a development delay and additional needs, whether it's autism, whether it's ADHD, whether it's a learning disability in itself, no two are the same. So it's for some people it can be really easy, but for me I don't find it easy at all. And that's why on here you don't really see many pictures of Caleb, because it is, well, he don't like pictures being taken. He don't smile at the camera anymore, and because he's running around in circles, it's very hard to get the pictures. So that's a little bit of a delve into our life. I could go on and on and on about it, and there is a lot I could talk about, but I'll probably save that for another day. But maybe making this video will make people on here understand, I don't know, what I'm going through. And I'm pretty sure there are a lot of mums on here that can relate. Whether your child's, if any of your mums have got children with additional needs, you'll probably understand the feeling and the just how it is really. Thank you so much for watching this. If you've watched it to this part, I do go on a lot. And hopefully it will help everyone on here understand about Caleb. Really, he is such a special boy and I love him so much. Like, he's my firstborn. He is absolutely amazing. He's such a lovely, loving boy, and he loves singing, he loves dancing, and he's just so lovely and cuddly, and he loves giving kisses. And it's I feel lucky to have a child like Caleb. I do. You know, no matter what the hard days are and how low I can get, I know that I've got this son that loves me unconditionally, and he is absolutely amazing. So thank you for watching this video. I don't know how long it's going to be, probably a while. But thank you again for watching, and hopefully I can make more videos talking about my life.